Hello and welcome to another Tabletop Ramblings Middle-earth strategy battle game battle report.
Hello, so I've got with me Scott, and I'm Tom, and we're playing Fog of War today. We did roll off some scenarios. Fog of War is both our favourites, so we opted for Fog of War. I've got with me Moria. We'll go over the army lists in a minute. And you've got Rivendell, so it's going to be quite a nice thematic matchup. Let's get stuck straight into having a look at the armies, and then we'll look at the board. Okay, so this is Scott's Rivendell. Run us through what you've got.
So we've got 8 high elf warriors with bows, 10 high elf warriors with just shield and the standard sword they come with, 10 with shield and spear, Círdan, Glorfindel, Gilgalad, and a banner, night banner.
Beautiful. Who is leading what?
He's leading them, he's on his Todd, and he's with them.
Spot on. Oh, we should have done Maelstrom. Then we could have annihilated him if you got unlucky.
Yeah.
Beautiful. This is my 800 points of Moria. It's led by Durbers. He has with him 13 goblins, 7 with shield and 6 with spear. He is my leader. Then he's backed up by the shaman. That's this chap with the banner. And he's got 6 goblin archers. We then have Groblog with his crown sat on the rock. He has with him 10 goblins, 5 with shield, 5 with spear. He's got a bat and a cave troll. Then we have this generic captain. He has with him 11. I thought that was 13 for a second. 11 goblins, 4 with shield, 4 with spear, and 3 bows. Then we've got the Cave Drake with 3 bows, and then the Spider Queen leading a bat swarm for 800 points of Moria, and the Dark Denizens of Mirkwood thrown in there. So this is deployment. My deployment is just in one massive blob. I've got the Spider Queen in the woods because she can go through woods. The Cave Drake also in the woods because it's got woodland creature, which is ridiculous for a cave-dwelling drake, but going to make use of that. Everyone else is just trying to go around the slow-moving woods and ready to just run at this horrendous formation. Run us through your deployment then, Scott.
We've got just a block of elves in the middle that we all like. The archers have been a bit more tactical and going for the high ground. Círdan's just chilling on the side, and then heroes behind.
Yeah, that looks nasty. We were just saying that if this was a really kind of competitive game, that one perfectly viable option for me would just be to stand still and never come into range of the bows because they're stuck up there, and basically just call it a draw and go for a pint. But we're not going to do that because it's boring. So we'll roll for priority now, and then we'll come back after the movement of heroics. So priority goes to the elves. Any heroics from me? No. So end of turn 1, it was elven priority. Run us through what you've done.
Just slowly marched up, casting aura in a smiling Círdan, got it off on a 5 on 1 dice, and just slowly moved the archers across.
Beautiful. So that's now terror within 6 inches of Círdan.
That's correct.
Cool. I basically did the same. I ploughed up on this flank a bit further forward than these guys. These guys are just out of bowshot range because they are scared of getting shot to bits just at this early stage. A couple of guys walking through the woods, but they go very, very painfully slow in there. And then the only other thing is my shaman with 2 dice got Fury off, only on a 3 high, so he was glad to have not bottled that and had to waste his might on it as well. So he's not got that 6-up save, but he has got ignoring terror, which is going to be very important against these terrifying elves. The other thing we've done is just stuck down the eggs, which I should have done right at the start. I also should have remembered to bring eggs with me. That's just an objective token. It should be deployed right at the start before models are on the board, I believe. So I didn't stick it where it was going to be most useful. Now I put it where I would have done, which is towards the woods, so that I can make use of that woodland creature. because it's such a daft rule for that model that I want to use it as much as possible. So that is the end of turn 1. There's no shooting because I'm a coward and have stayed out of bow range. So should we just roll turn 2 priority? So you get a 3, and sadly I get a 4. Oh, I didn't want that. So end of turn 2. My right hand side moved up a little bit. I stayed out of 12, I was about 14 inches away from his infantry, so that if he wanted to send a big hero, they'd have been at least unable to be supported next turn. And then here I've just stayed still. Just being very cagey, having priority. I didn't really want to commit to either flank and then get a denied flank manoeuvre pulled on me. And then the bat has just moved up, still hiding from all the bows, but now it's got a fairly good field for charging. And then elves, what did you do?
The elves got their parkour on and jumped off the building.
Yeah, nobody rolled a 1,
Which
is sad because we all want to see some elves with broken legs.
That's a matter of opinion. And my main army moved up, and then the 2 heroes put on the side.
Cool. So Gilgalad coming around the flank, and
Good old Glorfindel.
Glorfindel ready to party. And then you pop Blinding Light.
I got blind light, yeah.
Spot on. So that is the end of the turn. Roll for priority.
3.
A 5. That's a shame as well. So we'll come back after moves. Any heroics from yourself?
None.
Cool. None from me. So end of turn 3. 3 movement. Already forgetting. I have actually moved forward. Come forward this side a bit. Taunted on this side. The Drake was in charge range of Glorfindel. But with loads and loads of friends ready to help out next turn. Still fairly cagey, but at least moving slightly further forward now with the Spider Queen in the middle, because I honestly thought there was going to be some Glorfindel shenanigans, although it'd have been very exposed. So what did the elves do instead of my predictions?
Reform their line, group back up into archer blocks, and Gilgalad came back to help his friends. We failed to cast Order of Command because Clervan's useless, and Glorfindel ran back.
Spot on. So you have got some shots this turn. A couple of them moved too far, but you've got how many here?
4 here and 2 here.
Cool. So who is shooting first?
So we'll do these 2 into the Drake.
Cool.
1 hit.
Spot on.
6 is 6.
Well, hey, he is defense 7 and strength 3, so 6s. So he has taken a wound. Poor Drake. So we'll mark that off in a minute.
And then just 4 archers straight into the goblin line.
Spot on.
3 hits.
Nice.
And then 5s.
Yes, 5s.
None.
None. But a wound on the Drake is not too shabby for 6 shots. So with that, it is priority.
Sorry, 1 more shot.
Oh yes, 1 more shot.
Go shoot the Drake.
Cool.
Hits. Wounds.
Oh, 2 wounds on the Drake. Poor Drake. So after that nasty round of shooting, let's go for priority.
2.
A 2, so it swings to you. So end of turn, whatever that was, possibly 4.
4.
Turn 4 priority. What have you done in your move then?
I was very, very, very boring and did literally nothing.
Spot on. So I did fairly similar. Moved up on this flank and round here. Still a little bit cagey, but trying to close the distance now because the Drake doesn't want to keep getting shot. And all your bows now have stayed still, so they're going to hurt a lot more. I've not committed too much. I don't want to get tied down by scary things and all the infantry. But I've got quite a bit that can charge into Glorfindel next turn, so we'll see what happens. Priority is going to be quite big. But before we get to that, there's some more shooting.
So 6 archer shots to the goblin line.
Yep.
With Odyssey.
Yep.
5 hits.
Oh, that is nasty.
2 dead.
2 dead. Any preference or just the guys at the front?
Absolutely fine.
Spot on.
And then 3 more into the Drake.
Poor Drake.
All hits.
No.
Wounds.
Oh, good. And then priority.
3.
Come on to no. Any heroics from yourself?
I have nothing, thank you.
End of turn 4 movement. And you'd be amazed how many outtakes there are of that. Yep, take 2. So end of turn 5 move. 4 move. No. So I sadly got priority and had to move forward, which is why I've been very, very cagey. I have moved up on this flank into sort of charge range of his guys. And then over here, the bat failed a courage test, which was probably for the best. He got a 7, but he needed an 8 to go in on Glorfindel. Then I could maybe have got the Spider Queen in as well, blocked it off with her babies, but it probably would have ended in tears at this kind of distance. So it was possibly for the best that that didn't come off. Other than that, just moving forwards. It's still difficult for either one of us to commit, really, because fighting around this is not ideal. I did some jump tests. Both of them only rolled a 1. Fortunately, they've got Expert Climber, which is ironic considering they rolled 1s, which meant it was a 2. So they did at least get up, but that was the end of their move. And then Elves, you did lots of movement.
I did lots of things. I casted Enchanted Blades on Glorfindel, which I failed, then decided I was going to stay where I was.
Beautiful. So it is turn 4 shooting.
Yeah. Do you have any?
I do. I do have shooting. I have 3 shots here. We'll come back when I can find some dice. Okay, so I have 3 shots. They've moved, so they're hitting on 6s, but there's blinding light, so they're hitting on 6s anyway. And they are going to go after your Banner Stick Horse. Now, they'll just go for plebs at the front. They'll miss anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yes, they have missed. Well done.
Hopefully slightly more accurate. We're going to just put 6 shots into the Goblin line again.
Spot on.
We want him what? We want him misses. 6 hits.
Nice.
5 kills. None.
Oh, not quite as good.
And we've got 3 more into the Cave Drake.
3 into the paw. Pin cushion.
4 hit.
Oh, 3 wounds on the Drake now. He is looking very, very squishy. And that is that. So, turn 5 priority.
2.
There's a 2. Come on, this needs to be a 1.
Yeah.
So, end of that turn. Elves, you just stood still-ish.
Well, yeah, just repositioned a little bit. Tried to cast Enchanted Blades on with Kurdan to Glorfindel, failed again, obviously. If I hadn't have failed, I would have gone to the Drake myself, but I did, unfortunately, so...
which is a shame, but there we go. Because Glorfindel, we discussed earlier, he could have gone into the woods with his fleet foot, so the bat couldn't have got him, so it would have been a very strong move there, especially as the Drake can't strike. In response, I just legged it forward. I need to get into combat now. I'm getting shot to bits, and I've moved up so that my guys can start doing some stuff next turn with the bat, the spider, the Drake if it survives. I did manage just to get it into combat. There's a fairly juicy hurl there, so hopefully this will come off. There is, however, some shooting first, so we'll go into that. Who is shooting first?
2 my 7 doing straight into your Goblin line.
Spot on.
7 hits.
Ouch. So needing 5s.
5s.
Ooh,
3.
Just plebs at the front.
Yeah, it's what's going to cost. These 3.
Cool. Yeah, that is nasty.
And then these 2 will shoot down the line of that Goblin.
Yeah.
2 hits. No deaths.
Cool. And then we'll come back for the combat phase. So we are into the combat phase then, and we've got 2 elves against the Drake. The Drake is fight 6, so we'll try and set the bar. And we've got a 6. So we're going to hurl. We'll see how far we can hurl him. A whole 1 plus strength 7.
So
5 inches. So he's going a fair distance. He's going to clip quite a few. We'll work out who he hits and come back. So the hurl, it's going 5 inches. We have come across an interesting question. Where is the hurl measured from? Is it 5 inches from the guy moving 5? Or is it 5 inches from the base of the person doing the hurl? Because he's picked him up and throwing him. We don't really know. We've opted to... I can't even remember what we opted.
We opted to do for the end of the
model.
End of the model, so it does hit Kurdan.
Yeah, the only difference is that it hits Kurdan. It's not going to hurt him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if you do know the answer, do comment. We did look in the rules. It doesn't actually say. It just says all about getting the line of the hurl and all that, which is through the centre of the base. So we'll do the the hurl. So we'll do that initial strong hit. It's a strength 6, and that kills him.
Do you want me to point to dudes?
Yeah, if you point to dudes, everyone's got a shield, haven't they? So it's 6s on everything. So, how best to do this? Okay, so that first guy, no. That guy, yes. That guy, yes. Another bit of that. Yes, this is a broken dice. We'll keep this one. No. And then the mounted guy actually takes 2 strength 3 hits because he's forcibly dismounted. But neither of them hurt him. And then Kurdan not prone. And no. Even in his little dress, he is absolutely fine. So, end of the turn. And amazingly, that hurl was actually quite effective from that basically dead Drake. So let's roll for turn 6 priority, 5 priority. At least someone's paying attention.
6.
A 6, so it's probably going to you. And from me, we'll come back with any potential heroics. So the Drake is spending its only point of might, because it's probably going to die this turn, on a heroic move. And you've opted not to counter. So we don't need a roll off. So we'll come back after that now. So after that heroic, the Drake has decided to just go in after plebs. I could have tried to go in on Glorfindel, but it would have meant that I'd have had to move my full army across, leaving a big gap here, and it would have been too painful. So he's just gone in the middle. Also keeps him a little bit safer because the Bat on a 10 managed to get in, and the Spider Queen on a bare minimum 6 have gone in on Glorfindel. Glorfindel isn't trapped, which is a shame, but I've managed to stop the Bat from getting charged by putting a baby from the Spider Queen there, and then these two are just helping out the Spider Queen as well, just blocking them off and stopping Glorfindel from getting any help. The spiders that got popped out all failed courage tests. They tried to tie up these guys, and then if their control zones went, they could have run on Gil-galad, but they only courage 2. They rolled mainly, I think they all rolled a 7, which is heartbreaking there. But that is the way it goes. And then the rest of the force around here are were within 6 of the Shaman. So they were able to charge. And that's everyone that was in range of the heroic. Yeah, and they had to be in range there. There are actually these that I've just noticed that are in range of the heroic. But we'll deal with those a little bit later. They're fairly inconsequential. Okay, so end of move. After my heroic, you then moved. What did you do?
We just paired off some combats. We organised some fighters, and we based the Gallad into the Drake. And we casted channeled enchanted blades
onto Gil-galad.
Yeah.
Which is nasty. So he's strength 10, re-rolling all failed wounds.
Yeah.
So basically that Drake is cooked. However, in my move, the Bat, who I think you'd possibly forgotten existed,
right.
Because over this side, a Bat had already moved in a heroic.
I thought there was already one, but I thought,
yeah, it's easily done. This Bat managed to pass a courage test on the absolute bare minimum 8 and has peeled off Gil-galad. Again, as soon as I did it, you noticed, and
like, oh, yeah,
if you'd remembered he existed, you'd have blocked that off.
Yeah.
But as it was, Gil-galad is now fighting a Bat. So that Bat is going to die. It does halve Gil-galad's fight going down, but as he's 9, his fight 4, the Bat is either 1 or 2, so he's going to absolutely obliterate that Bat. But it is a sacrifice he's willing to make. Over here, the Troll, who is the only thing that's not fearless around here, with Fury not affecting him, failed the courage test to charge him. This Goblin got a 5 on his climb test, which is a 6 with his little extra rule with Cave Dweller, so he was able to charge in on him with a spear support. Generally just shimmying to get spear supports around. The most important thing about this fight, other than saving the Cave Drake's life, is it also shuts down most of your shots. So you've maybe got one on that spider there.
I've 1 yet, so the 1 shot, 6.
Oh, it is a 6.
4. What defense are they?
Probably a 3. I think he's dead, but we'll double check. So they are only defense 3, the little fat babies. So that spider is dead. And then we go into the combat phase, and you're calling a heroic combat with Gil-galad. Yeah, I thought that might happen, to kill the Bat and then go and kill the Drake, which is a nasty turn. The only saving grace is that you would have killed that Drake anyway.
I would have killed the Drake and the spider probably.
Yeah. So at least that Bat has saved probably that spider. I am Oh, gonna have to think about it. So I'm not going to call anything. So we're going to start off with this heroic. Let's see if you get that 6. No 6 yet. Lord of the West. No. Okay, come on back.
And a banner if you needed it.
We need the 6 here. We've got it. Go on.
No,
Oh, point of might. So that is Gil-galad down to 1 might remaining.
But he wins.
But he does win.
We're
And
doing 2s.
he's doing on 2s. Okay.
Reroll. I'll
And
wind that up for the final one to get it.
you've knocked him prone.
Oh yeah, sound. Good.
So re-rolling another 4. Yeah, he's super dead. But if you want to waste that might, by all means.
Sound.
Okay,
I'll
so
go back into the deck.
there we go.
My combat next.
And then Blood and Glory. We'll double check if that is multi-wound as well as heroes. So we Blood and Glory, it does only get might back on heroes, so that bat doesn't regen. Although we did also see that the channeled what is he
Enchanted
called?
Blades.
Enchanted Blades is +1 to wound, so stacking with +1 from Aegalos, that magic spear, he was wounding the bat on 1s on 8 dice, so that is definitely a dead bat.
Yeah.
It's your priority. Would you like to
Go for the
stick
Drake.
with it and we'll do the Drake?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you set the bar. You are the mighty Fight
So that's the
9.
Glorfindels. Psychic Guards.
Gil-galad, yep.
And that's 2
Ooh.
supports.
Oh
And
dear, so
Lord of the West.
Gil-galad, Lord of the West.
And the banner.
A 5. Wow, that is not good. So we need a 6 here to steal some might, and we have it. A
So
6.
Of course, might up again.
So last point of might
Yeah.
to win that fight. You'll probably get it back, let's face it.
So we've got 3 wounds left on the Drake.
3 wounds and 1 fate. So you probably want all of this from Gil-galad.
Reroll. Nice.
Your strength 10, are you with that?
We've checked now. I'm +2 to wound though, so it's 4s into 7s, which is 6, which is 5s, +2 to wounds 3s.
Wow, that's pretty nasty.
So it's strength 4 into defense 7, which would be 6s, but it's +2 to wound, 1 for Elgalos and 1 for the Enchanted Blades.
Yeah, so 4, he's got 3 wounds, 1 fate. That is a dead Drake. And then with Blood and Glory, you regen an extra might. So we'll do Glorfindel. He's against the spider and the bat. This guy failed his courage test. Would you like to set a bar? At 5 high?
Or the West? 5
Ooh, okay, so the bat gets a cocked 6. That's heartbreaking.
4.
Nope. And then the Spider Queen is 2 attacks, 3 on the charge. A 5. So currently I am winning. Would you like to spend a point of might?
How much might do you have?
I have 3.
Yes, let's make you spend.
Cool. So we're both down to 2 might. So I win that because the bat halves your fight value after strike. So there was no point you bothering with the strike. So I.
So do you throw me? So I get you mad?
Yep. So that's a strength 3 hit, which does nothing. So the bat.
Throw wider. He's fine.
Cool. So the bat will need 6s and does nothing. And then the spider, we will, oh, perfect. If I steal that dice, I've got the 6, needing 5, re-rolling all failed wounds. Oh, that is nasty. So, although fate is done after might, I could burn 2 mites. Might be a little bit daft to do that. Who's around there with might? You know what? I'm going to burn
2 might.
2 might to make that a 5.
So first fight passes. Second fight
Fails.
Third fight passes.
So he is.
Taking 2 wounds.
No!
3, yeah.
That's a shame. So I can't do maths. He took 5 wounds, saved 2, which is 3 going through, so he is actually dead. So my poor imitation of Darth Vader's
Here's
no.
a question, actually.
Yeah.
Regarding your monstrous charge, do you actually knock me prone because of my armor of Gondolin?
And we're back again. So the Armour of Gondolin is just protection against brutal power attacks. And the knockdown from monstrous charge is a special rule. So he is dead despite
Trying his hardest.
all different special rules that we don't know, and all forms of dice and maths, and yeah, fairly confident that he is dead.
I can one. Is that guy backed up? Yeah, I can one.
Hey, so End of the pleb combats. We managed to kill one, which was surprising considering that I think that's the only fight we won. That was fairly nasty. And then we just backed up against everything. We did lose one archer, and then over here these two murderized the little fart baby that came out of the Spider Queen. So a very big combat turn for the heroes, not so much for the infantry. So with that, it is turn, who knows, priority.
Turn 6.
Turn 6.
6.
Oh, it's cocked.
I don't think you can. Well, you can if you get a 6.
Here it is, here's the 6. Look, it's a 6, everybody. So with good priority, Groblog sat on his rock. He's going to call a heroic move. And now that Glorfindel's dead, and you called a channel last turn, we didn't actually mention that, but you called a channel when I called that move up there. That's why Enchanted Blades were so lethal. So you've only got one might left, which is the regen might on Gil-galad, so you're not going to counter. So we'll come back after my move. So, end of the move, you have... Well, my heroic, I've tagged stuff down. All of this. The troll managed to pass a courage test. This guy couldn't quite jump up even with his +1. We've just gone in where we can. Only one guy has managed to get into combat on Gil-galad, which is unfortunate because he's going to be able to heroic combat and fit through this gap and get onto the Spider Queen. Gerbers has gone in, so it's going to be a roll-off for whoever's heroic goes first. He can, he's got 3 might left, so it's literally going to go down to 50-50. Everyone can combat and move and heroic shoot, and then other stuff is different. There's going to be no shooting, everything's moved. The other thing is these two here are going round for, I'm assuming, this objective. Who knows? But certainly that is the direction they're going. Gil-galad tried to go that way earlier as well, so that's my thoughts. Poker face.
No comment.
So, no shooting, so we're going to combat. So, heroics, I've got to call first, so I will combat with what's-his-face, and you will combat with the last, for now, point of might. It's only the second of Durbers. And then over here, I don't actually have any heroes in combat. So, to roll off your priority, unfortunately, it does go to me. So, you have got a shield. I assume you're shielding. I've got a fight value, though. So, do you want to set the bar, see if we need to mess around with high dice? So, 5 high. We've got 4 plebs in there, including the spider. So, we'll do them first. And we have a 6 there, so we've won that. And then the Spider Queen, she only has 2 attacks, but is trapped. Strength 6 on 6s, needs 4s, gets him, and she's re-rolling. So we'll come back when they've thought about where they're going to move. So after that, the Pleb Spider managed to just body block here. He's not in combat with Scary Mary, but he's making sure that he can't go round and get into anything high value. Then the Spider Queen and friend, that's my leader, have gone in on just this random pleb because overkill is underrated, to quote the A-team. And then it is, just moving around. There's actually still him to move, I'll deal with him later. But we now have this heroic, so you have 4 on the charge against my whole 1. I'm going to stab.
I'm going to fight these. He's going to fight there. So I'll fight you as a group.
You can't, because he's in base with him.
But he's going to fight as a group, because he's going to fight those 2.
We'll be back in a second. Okay, so we may have made a horrendous mistake here for Evil. The fight is going to be paired off with Gil-galad and friend against these 2. So, Spider Queen may be dead. What's Gil-galad getting? He's got loads of 6s, so he is going for blood.
So, Gil-galad.
And he has won the fight. So, moving in...
So he dies.
Yep, so he is dead. His friend... He's getting pushed back. He's going that away. So, who is going to...
It's got to be each way out from this guy.
We'll properly measure. So, after backing away, this guy has gone into there to pull them off, and that has allowed Gil-galad to go in on Random Spider and the Spider Queen. And as it's good priority, to be able to pull those into combat.
One with the leader,
and this is going to be very, very messy. So, the Gil-galad fight first. Gil-galad, only a 4 high. Lord of the West, 2 or 1. Spider Queen has no might and she has a random friend. Only 2 attacks, and then the random friend, she needs to get a 5 high.
Oh man, I'm so
And she
unlucky.
does it. Wow, that is very lucky. She could hurl him, and then he's going to hit millions of guys, but most of them are going to be mine. So,
That's annoying. That's so unlucky.
the hurl's actually going to go
That's
that way,
so
isn't it? That would
unlucky.
be really It's unbelievably lucky, because
Yeah.
you effectively had 5 dice to win
Just
the
to get
fight
5.
on a 4 high
Yeah.
against 3. So, random pleb spider first is going after the horse, needing 5s. No. She is then going after the horse as well, needing 3s. Re-rolling wounds.
Yes, Diddles.
Yes, so the horse is
Am I
dead.
It's fine.
He's fine. And then she's going after him. Strength 6 on 7s is 5
On
re-rolling
eights.
wounds.
On
8. Still 5s, I think. So re-rolling wounds, no. So he's fine, but he has been unhorsed instead of gutting the Spider Queen, which I honestly thought was going to happen there.
Feel robbed.
Yeah. Aren't you glad, though, that... Because we did discuss, this guy forgot to move in the heroic move. In the heroic combat, we were going to do it. We discussed putting him into Gil-galad. I'm glad we didn't, because that would have then felt like it was a cheap move from Evil with that extra dice, if that was the one that won the fight. So, yeah. I'd say it's fair, but it's really not. Now that he's unhorsed, it's bad now for good. As we're here, should we do this fight? I
One. Jesus.
think I only have 2 attacks. I've won it. And then strength 4, no chance. If I have got 3 attacks,
Yes.
it would have killed him. We'll double check, but I'm fairly sure he's useless and only has 2 attacks.
We've
So,
got one more fight here, actually.
end of the combat phase, and that was savage. So Gil-galad losing the combat was huge. And then most of the other combats were quite poor for the elves. The elves won and killed about 3 goblins, which isn't too bad, but equally lost about 3 as well.
Yeah,
The troll lost his combat, which was sad, but
When the elves are trading 1-for-1 with goblins, you know you're in trouble.
yeah, the goblins still have some serious numbers. The line, because of the way that my troops were forced through that bottleneck, I've got a lot of spears on the front line, so it's probably going to start swinging away from me soon. But yeah, it's gone surprisingly badly this turn for the elves.
Yeah, the
so,
elves are not happy.
Yeah,
The
fingers
elves-
crossed for next turn.
Gil-galad feels robbed because then he lost the 50-50 with the combat roll and then couldn't roll above a 4.
Yeah, so despite losing the heroic combat roll-off, the Spider Queen then still put herself in a very, very dangerous position. But maybe it was all part of the master plan. She knew that she had it in the bag. So, with that absolute drivel, let's roll priority. A 6? Stop rolling 6s! Oh, point mate! So, Elven priority, I will definitely call some heroics, and I'll think about who's going to call it. So, after great thought, Groblog is going to be calling that heroic move. So, end of that turn, and I've just gone in all along this line. Needless to say, the troll failed his courage test, but then this guy wasn't brave enough to charge him. Not that he tried a courage test, just that he was not daft enough to try. My guys that weren't in the heroic move just potted around the sides. Everywhere up here is just a big maelstrom scrap. This guy is a bit overwhelmed, but he's probably going to roll a 6. This guy charged into the Spider Queen and Durbers, who has might for a combat, but they probably can't go anywhere. The slowest guys in the world moving through the woods. I have tipped my hand, or it's a big bluff. The 3 archers up on that over there. Although speaking of tipping the hand, these 2 elves are making a break for that terrain piece over there, being chased down by those 2 there. There's going to be no shooting because everything's either moved forward or stuck into combat. So, yeah, much more of that. So we'll come back with the combat phase. So combat phase, I'm not going to bother with a heroic here because Kurdan has moved, which I forgot he could do. I forgot he had legs. So his terror bubble now covers basically everything. And as much as this would be a nice hurl line, she'd have to pass a courage test. She's got no will left because she farted out her 3 kids. So we'll just go into standard combats. Should we do the heroes first?
Yeah, let's do it first.
Cool. Do you want to set the bar? On a 5, that's respectable. We'll do my spider. Ooh, on a 4. And then the leader guy with might, also a 4. You know what? You can have that.
Yeah.
Make a strike.
On the main dude. Yes!
Wounds my leader. And you know what? I'm not even going to fate it because leader wounds are not VPs in this, which we'll double check. And if it is, then we'll do fate. But I'm fairly sure it's not. So Gilgalad is on a 5 high. I have 2. I've trapped him, but yeah, possibly not. So trapped him ish, maybe we'll work it out. But those guys are not in combat because they weren't brave enough. We only get 5 anyway, so it doesn't matter. Can you stuff up one lonely fella? Yes. So this guy is well dead.
He is no more.
Fortunately, Gilgalad, as powerful as he is only fighting one guy there because I heroic combated. There's no more heroes or anything exciting in combat, so we'll do those off camera. So, end of those combats. The elves did much better that time. They lost 1, maybe 2? 2. But killed a good 4 or 5, particularly from the centre, which might actually be quite good because now Groblog's no longer blocked off, so at least he can get stuck into combat. But yeah, fairly painful. Lost a spider here, quite a lot of goblins. So that is the end of combat. Let's roll for priority.
8.
3, the end of the run of 6s, but I bet this is a 2.
No.
Oh, it's a 6.
Back to your 6s now.
So end of that turn with priority for once. Evil have charged in, very similar. Again, the troll failed its courage test. This time he did it spectacularly on double 1s. Down here, we've managed to catch up with the one that got over the barrels on a 6 last turn, but the one that didn't was out of range. Captain's just coming through to try and hold this line because we're assuming that is the terrain. We've already ruled that the ones in the centre can't be the terrain that we're choosing. And then, yeah, all just charged in the centre. Over here, the bat who was in the forest could only move a quarter move, so he did manage to get fully out. Moving 3 inches, he's managed to get his base out, so he can move 12 next time. Gilgalad just charged by 1. Spider Queen is not in combat because she's not stupid. And this poor fella is well and truly surrounded, which is where we'll start because Durbers is calling a heroic combat with his 2nd point of might. So, would you like to set the bar? On 3.
Really bad.
We have the Spider Queen. Yeah, she has won that nice and comfortably. And then she eats him alive. And then we'll come back when we've had a little think about where people are going. So with that heroic combat rather, managed to tie up this guy here. And then it's fairly nasty because Kurdan has been charged by Durbers and the Spider Queen. And there's no surprises that he is my target. Because honestly, I didn't think Glorfindel would ever die. So
Glorfindel was my guy to keep alive. I didn't think he'd die either.
Is unfortunate. So this could well be the make or break turn. So we'll roll for that. Do you want to set the bar? How many attacks has he got?
1.
Oh, okay. A 6 though.
It was a 5. Because he's unarmed.
Because he's unarmed and he's out of mind. That's quite unfortunate. However, Spider Queen is good at bottling it. So Spider Queen does get the 6. And then the Spider Queen what's defense is it?
4.
Needs 3s. She's got 6 dice to do it. Rerolling failed wounds. She has stuffed him up. And that I think is
a
probably
good game, sir.
a game. Yeah, very good.
Play it.
So we've called the game there. Good game.
Pleasure's always.
Yeah, that was really, really good. The final points then. I was trying to kill Kurdan, who got mauled in that final turn. So that's 3 for me. I was trying to keep my random captain alive, and he's fine. So another 3 is 6. I was after that, which is 9, and then neither of us broke because we decided to call it.
You would have broke.
Yeah,
So
I think you were.
I think
actually
it was 12.
Nearly broken.
Yeah, I
so
think it was
probably
12
there.
And I might have got that build in, but that was further away. My target was the Spider Queen, which Gilgalad should have killed, but decided he didn't fancy it.
Yeah, that would have been huge if you got her. Like,
Yeah,
the
so I
swing
could
would
have
have
killed
been
that, and then I
massive
could
there.
have killed the captain. I could just move away along the line because I keep gaining my back.
Yeah. But as it is, Gilgalad will never
See another combat.
He'll never kill a hero. He'll kill one guy a turn because I've got loads of my left. I'm
that's
just
just
going to
like
keep feeding him. My guy's all past courage with the shaman around it. It's
quite big.
Yeah, it's it's going to end in tears now.
And I was trying to keep them like Glorfindel, who got bothered village.
Yeah, so that's pretty brutal. That
12-0. That looks there's probably closer than the game lets on.
yeah,
The
there were
game is
one or
close,
two
yeah.
really crucial moments.
It is a 12-0 Wills is a massive win for the Goblins, but I think the game's actually closer than the 12 for
Yes. Yeah, as always happens in this scenario, I kind of lost track of what the VPs were and forgot that I was meant to keep someone on, like that you were trying to kill someone.
Yeah.
So I just assumed you were probably after the Drake. Drake's dead, right? Okay, cool. And then forgot that realistically the Spider Queen's actually a really good call for you.
There's only
Because-
defense 4, defense
yeah,
3.
three
So you've got
wounds,
3
no
wounds, no
fate.
fate.
So even just a random arrow or something is gonna wound her. And then as well, her whole purpose in this list is just to go in, kill stuff, and then die. So yeah, I should have been more cautious with her. And actually, had I played the scenario better, I might well not have won it.
Yeah.
Because I'd have been loads more cautious.
Yes,
with her.
agreed.
She'd have been
Never
hanging
have
back.
never have gone into
There's no
here.
way that she'd have been that brave.
But this play worked out really well. Can't decide if I was
Yeah.
unlucky or if I played badly there. I feel like I was robbed with Gilgalad, but I think that was bad play actually putting Glorfindel there.
Yeah, it was.
Lots of learning points though.
It was tough that because he shouldn't really have died in one.
No,
turn.
he shouldn't have.
And to the extent that I thought he hadn't.
Yeah, 3 might, 3 will, 3 might, 3 fate, 3 wounds.
To die on that. Yeah, he was unlucky there. And actually, what killed him was spending the might to drain a might off the Spider Queen because he then couldn't light up that
you
one
could
on
have
the
lighted
thing.
up one more, so I would have lost it.
Yeah. So he was destined to be squashed.
Yeah, Spider Queen ate her, unfortunately. The armor conjuring didn't help him at all.
Yeah. The Bat Swarm really.
These
did
are
that.
worth every single point you pay for them.
Absolutely. I mean,
Every time.
this one did in Glorfindel, and the other one died to stop Gilgalad heroic combating off a Drake, which
Yeah.
is just demoralising.
If he killed the Drake and the
Yeah.
Spider in the same turn.
That would
That
have
would be a
been
sad
that
turn.
would have been huge, and VPs.
Oh, yeah.
Just
All
the
the good stuff.
the
All
swing
the
would have
good
been
stuff,
amazing. It
yeah.
would also have kept Glorfindel alive.
Yeah.
So that would have been the game there and then. Yeah. So 12-0, but a knife edge.
Yeah, much closer to 12 represents, I would
it's,
say. But
it
great
was
fun. Well,
definitely-
thank you again.
definitely
I
not
really
bad.
enjoyed that. Thank you again. Cheers.